What's going on? Vincent Rappisardi, BigBlueOnBias.com. Thank you to those who have liked, commented, and subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to turn notifications on so every time I post, you get a notification, and you can come join in on the conversation. So in this video, we're going to talk about Daniel Jones and Eli Manning. A lot of people are making the excuse a little bit that, hey, Eli Manning struggled early in his career, so, don't give up on Daniel Jones just yet. And I'll tell you why that comparison's not so great. We'll also talk about the increased snap total of many different Giants, some changes from week 3 to week 4, and we'll get into some roster moves as well. A lot of roster moves for the Giants on Monday. Okay, so let's start with the Eli Manning-Daniel Jones comparisons. A lot of people are kind of making excuses saying, well, Daniel Jones is struggling, and that's okay because Eli was struggling early in his career too, and people were burning his jersey, and, that means that Daniel Jones is going to do the same thing. He's going to have his struggles, and he's going to be great and win 2 Super Bowls and be a potential Hall of Famer. A little bit different here, okay? As I've stated, Daniel Jones is not getting much help. The offensive line's not good. We talked about that. We've talked about analytics when it comes to the offensive line, pass block win rate, run block win rate, and the amount of pressures that they've given up. It's not been good. And his receivers, Golden Tate's not getting yards after the catch. Darius Slayton, I think, is a good wide receiver too, but he's not your number one wide receiver. I think we're starting to see that. Kind of questioned early in the season after the first game. Maybe he is kind of a wide receiver 1. More of a wide receiver 2. We're starting to see that. So I understand people making excuses and saying, well, his supporting cast isn't that great. But, okay, Daniel Jones right now is the 32nd ranked quarterback when it comes to cumulative EPA, expected points added per play, and completion percentage over expectation. Those are very important analytics. And he's the 32nd ranked quarterback, right beyond Dwayne Haskins, and right in front of whoever the Broncos have at quarterback at this point. That's not good. I understand he doesn't have a great supporting cast, new offense and everything. But you would at least hope, if you were the Giants, that he's at least average. And you can say, well, if he gets another wide receiver, a better wide receiver, or a better offensive line, he could be a really solid quarterback. The problem is he's literally one of the worst. You can maybe make a case he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. We're starting quarterback in the NFL this year. So yeah, the support isn't there, but at the same time, he's got to be better. And if you look at Eli, right? Eli Manning's first full season as a starter, the Giants won 11 games. They made the playoffs. It was a top 10 passing offense according to FootballOutsiders.com. So his first full season, they were throwing the ball well, and they were winning a lot of games and making the playoffs. Right now, they are among the worst offenses in the NFL, and right now they are ranked 31st in terms of offensive EPA. Football Outsiders has them as the worst offense in the league. They're the worst offense in terms of points per game by a lot. I mean, the Jets are around 16 points. The Giants are less than 12. So it's kind of tough to use that comparison because although, yeah, Eli struggled in 2007, he still statistically, analytically performed fairly well in 2005 and 2006, and they made the postseason. So he had 2 fairly strong analytic seasons, especially, and the Giants won football games. They made the postseason. The Giants are 0-4, and they're not even competitive on offense. They're not competitive. I mean, I tweeted this out. If the Giants had an average offense, just an average, 20 points a game, which is not even good. Actually, that's not even average. That's not even good at all. But let's just say 20 points a game. They'd be 2-2 probably at this point, and they'd be winning the NFC East. So the Giants' offense right now is not a competitive offense. That's the point I'm trying to make, is the Eli Manning, Daniel Jones comparison in terms of early career struggles. I don't know. I'm having a hard time understanding those comparisons. I don't think they're fair or accurate. Now, if you want to compare the players, I think they're risk takers. They like making big plays down the field, although Jones hasn't done that this year. Last year, he was tied for second in touchdowns that traveled 20-plus yards through the air. He's a risk taker, just like Eli was. And they have very similar demeanors as well. So the player comparison, okay, but the early career struggle thing, that comparison, not willing to agree with that. Okay, so let's move on and talk about some of the changes the Giants made on the football field, who was playing and who wasn't. Devonta Freeman led Giants running backs in snaps. So he's starting to take over that role as kind of their go-to running back. Tay Crowder played 58% of snaps for the Giants, and Ryan Lewis played 74% of defensive snaps for the Giants on Sunday, 42 snaps in total, 42 of his 60 snaps all season, and he performed fairly well. Remember, actually, I don't think I need to let you know about this. You probably already know, but the Giants are looking for another starting cornerback too, right? They're looking for a perimeter corner. We'll see if Ryan Lewis is a potential answer. Corey Ballentine didn't play a snap. Like we said, Corey Ballentine, it looks like his opportunities starting or even playing, getting on the field, look like they're numbered. Isaac Yiadom played some snaps, and even Madre Harper had a couple snaps as well. So the Giants are really going to start testing their options and see who plays the best. Okay, so let's talk about some roster moves the Giants made. On Monday, Austin Mack was elevated from the practice squad. You would think he would have played in Sunday's game, but he wasn't active. Now he's back to the Giants practice squad. He reverts back to the practice squad. Alex Bachman and David Moa have been added to the Giants practice squad. Alex Bachman, remember, he played an interesting role there in camp for the Giants. We did a video on him. Corey Washington or Victor Cruz video. So he's back on the Giants practice squad. David Moa, undrafted free agent out of Boise State, defensive tackle. So they add him to the practice squad. And wide receiver Johnny Holton, he was released from the Giants practice squad.